toe pitch makes his NBA debut for the Thunder to a standing ovation, scoring his first points after battling testicular cancer. The Serbian guard, selected 12th in the 2024 NBA draft, missed last season with a knee injury and was sidelined again this year following a preseason cancer diagnosis. After undergoing a procedure and chemotherapy, he worked his way back and finally made it to the floor. Shump, your thoughts?
Unbelievable. Bravo to that young man. You know, that's a huge hill to climb. I'm happy for him that he's back healthy. I know that, you know, you get the injuries that you sustain while playing, but to have something like that come and to mentally stay tough, to have what an organization to have behind you if you're going through something like that. But to be able to work his way back and go out there and see the ball go in, man, really happy for the kid.
Windy.
You know, Joe, there's a lot of triumphs that are happening in the NBA every single night. A lot of them are overlooked because we sometimes focus on issues, which we will again. But this was a triumph, and I'm glad that he could do it at home and that the Thunder fans could celebrate him because he deserves it.
Well, I love the fact that we could start with something so positive and uplifting because, to your point, Windy, we are going to make the transition here to something very, very different. The NBA has fined the Jazz $500,000 and the Pacers $100,000, with the league saying both teams sat healthy players. The Jazz fine came due to the team's actions in games against the Magic on February 7th and the Heat on February 9th. During them, Utah benched Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. for the fourth quarter. Pacers, meanwhile, violated the player participation policy against the Jazz on February 3rd. Adam Silver released a statement on fining the Jazz and Pacers, saying, quote, overt behavior like this that prioritizes draft position over winning undermines the foundation of NBA competition, and we will respond accordingly to any further actions that compromise the integrity of our games. Let's pull on that thread for a little bit. Does the punishment fit the crime here, Windy?
This isn't meant to be something that's a punishment. This is meant to be a deterrent. What Adam Silver is doing here is telling teams to knock it off or else. The question is whether or not it's too late for that. I could get into the nitty-gritty of the details that have happened here, and the Jazz have their defenses, such as they were fined for a game that they won, which they did against the Heat here, and I can pull through it. All I would just say, as somebody who lives this, is watching this every day, I'm giving everybody in the league who's tanking right now a pass. And the reason I'm doing that is these are good people making decisions that they feel is the best for their organizations, and I understand why they're doing it. I don't like it, but the horse isn't just out of the barn. It's down around the corner and on an airplane to Asia. There must be fundamental changes to stop this. This is not going to be, Adam Silver is not going to be able to find his way through this. So I will sit back and wait and watch it. I'm going to just back off the Jazz and all these tankers and say, look, they're just doing what they've got to do.
I mean, credit to the Jazz. For those who have been watching, they've found some creative ways to go about this process. Shump, you played in the league for 10 years. What's your reaction to the surge in teams tanking, especially so early in the season?
I understand why they do it. I understand the double-edged sword of it. You know, if you're a fan and you came to see your favorite player and now he's sitting down because the team is tanking because they're getting ready for next year, I get it. So there's a business side that comes in. I like what Adam Silver said. I hear what Wendy's saying, and, you know, I agree with both of them. But as a player, I never was on a team that was tanking, so I don't know how it feels to do it. But I've been a part of some losing, and losing never feels good for anybody. So the thing that makes me the maddest is when I see them sitting down and they're laughing and joking. Losing's never fun.
Very well said. Let's stay in the association with a little game of sound off. Interesting people saying interesting things. In case you guys missed it, Kevin Durant pointed the finger across the aisle when asked about the lack of effort displayed in recent All-Star games. Take a listen.
You should ask the Europeans, if the world team, if they're going to compete. I mean, because we look at Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic now. Let's go back and look at what they do in the All-Star game. Is that competition? So we haven't questioned what they've been doing, but we're going to question the old heads and the Americans But these two dudes out there, Luka and Jokic, they don't care about the game at all. These dudes be laying on the floor, they shoot from half court, but you got to worry about the old heads playing hard. I can read between the lines, bro. It's just a overall topic that everybody has just been talking about.
The highlight of them just passing back and forth is always going to get me. Shump, that's what KD says about the All-Star game, which was once a highlight on the calendar. Your reaction to his comments?
I get it. I wouldn't want to be singled out in that regard. But I just think that when you go out there for this next one, make them look bad. I think that what's been relatively obvious within that happening is you've had plenty of players that haven't really taken the game serious. The problem is, how does that become contagious for the rest of the guys on the court? So if we can figure out a way to just up the competition, I don't think Luka and Jokic will go out here and not compete. I think that the competition is just down. These are guys moving out the way for each other and laughing and joking. If it's going to be a show that way, then let it be a show that way. But if you want them to stop doing that, KD, make sure you get 5 guys. Y'all go out there and start blowing people out. And we'll get a game.
At the very least, at the early 2000s, when Iverson and Marbury were playing along with Kobe and Shaq, like you get the first half where they'd put on the show, Shaq would run the point, he'd try to do a crossover, and then you'd get to the second half and they'd tighten up on D and give you a game. Like that balance worked, at least for someone like me. Windy, is there a way the NBA can restore the glory of the All-Star game?
Man, this is sad. It's not even the point where they're encouraging each other to compete. It's, Durant, and by the way, Durant's right. But now they're saying, those guys care less about it than we do. On the care factor, we're down here, but they're way down here. That's where the dialogue has gone. In all honesty, the All-Star Game's lost me as a viewer. I've got plans this weekend. I'm not going to watch it. And so, what I believe is 2 major things have happened in the last 10 years. One, between 2006 and 2016, so we're talking 20 to 10 years ago, the max contract went up about 40%. That's a lot of money. It's good increase. Between 2016 and 2026, the max salary has gone up 240%. It's very hard to sell to these players that they need to invest in the growth of the game when the growth is coming to their paychecks in incredible amounts. How do you say they have to do it for the growth of the game when they see their paycheck? The second thing is Kobe retired. Kobe Bryant held the line and set the standard for his fellow players in the All-Star game. He won 4 All-Star MVPs. He would go at players and shame them and call them out when they didn't compete at the end of All-Star games. He retired, the money went way up, and that's the sliding scale.
So if we look backwards to try to end this on a good note, do you have a favorite All-Star memory?
It's from a long time ago, I'm sorry to say, and that was when I was a kid, way before Shump was around, 1991, the slam dunk contest. Joe, I wanted these Reebok pumps so bad. D. Brown pumps up the shoes and dunks. This is one of my favorite memories of my childhood as an NBA fan, was D. Brown in the Reebok pumps winning this slam dunk contest. And I treasure it to this day.
Jump in here. Your thoughts on D. Brown and the pumps?
I don't remember it live action, but this is one of those things that my father, too, made me watch. Never quite understood the cover the eyes one. I didn't even think that was one of his better dunks in the contest. But I get it for the signature slow-mo and everything like that. I get it. But I didn't think that was his best dunk. I used to argue with my dad all the time about that dunk.
Great memories. I mean, we could do another 20 minutes on what's happened to the dunk contest, but maybe we'll save that for another day. Gentlemen, sit tight. Thank you very much. NBA All-Star Weekend begins tonight with the celebrity game. Keegan-Michael Key, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and ESPN's own Shams Charania.